The XUV500's display zone has the following readings: the odometer, trip A and trip B. You can select between odometer and trip meter by short pressing the trip switch. That's the trip switch of the XUV500. The trip switch is located on the right side of the instrument cluster. Resetting the readings of trip A and trip B to 0. Firstly, short press the trip meter switch to get trip A on the display. Now, long press the trip meter switch on trip A position to reset trip A to 0. After that, short press the trip meter switch to get trip B on the display. Then long press the trip meter switch on trip B position, this time to reset trip B to 0. Let's consider this as the starting point and drive for a few kilometers. After some time, stop the car and recheck the trip A reading in the instrument cluster. These are the new readings. Since we had reset both trip A and trip B to 0, at the end of this trip, both trip A and trip B have the same readings. Resetting only trip A to 0 now. Drive for a few kilometers. Then stop the car and again see the new readings. These are the new readings. Trip B has the total number of kilometers from the point of origin, whereas trip A has reading from the last reset. Before the start of the first drive, trip A and trip B were reset to 0. At the end of the first drive, both trip A and trip B readings were 7.7 kilometers. Then we had reset the reading of trip A to 0. Then finally at the end of the second drive, we saw the readings as 7.7 kilometers for trip A and 15.5 kilometers for trip B. In a way, we can use trip A to calculate the distance of every trip if we wish to. And trip B could be used to calculate the distance we've traveled in an entire month.